What's up, everybody? What's going on? My name is Chris Avalon, and welcome to Celebrity Bullshit. And these are my two hosts, co-hosts.
Me, I'm Jay Blaze.
I'm Rod Blaze.
And basically what our show is about is we're going to bring you everything that has to do with celebrity news and gossip and what's going on in the world as far as pop culture and whatever else is going on that we might want to talk about, even celebrity advice. So I will give away information as to where to contact us and let us know, like, if you want to get any advice about relationships, sexual relationships, whatever kind of things you want to talk about. We'll have all the information on the YouTube page. So let's get right into it, because we only got a couple of more minutes to get, each topic in. We first started, this is our first show and everything, so let's go. The first topic we're going to talk about right now is Oprah's Big Week. Where last week it was like the first time in, I say, a long damn time, she had like everybody on her damn show. The first day she had Rosie on. And basically with Rosie, they talked about her relationship when she broke up with Kelly and how she's gotten a new relationship and the whole family thing and how she basically wanted to be a big role model for homosexuals, which I don't see an issue with, I have an issue with gays and this whole role model thing where we all need to be like straight folks. That's a whole nother story within itself. Then it was like she had Denise Richards on, and she talked about a whole bunch of nothing, so we can examine that.
It was a hot mess.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Well, I didn't see that, but from what I was told.
Yeah. And then what really got me was the two shows where she had Ted Haggard on the same episode and Jay Leno. But we'll get into Jay in a minute. But I want to talk about Ted Haggard. He basically went on and was like, he went in, and first he was like, he's never had crystal meth. The guy who came out a couple of years ago and said that he had an affair with this man because he's an evangelical minister. And he basically said, like, he was in a hotel room with Ted Haggard, and they basically did drugs, and Ted Haggard went and said first he never knew who the guy was, and then he never did drugs. Then the next time he went to an interview, he basically talked about how he bought crystal meth, but he never used it. I don't know anybody who buys drugs and just has it sitting on their mantle and just stares at it. You don't give a staring contest to drugs. If I'm going to buy drugs like ecstasy or whatever, I'm fucking using it. I don't give a shit who
drugs is damn expensive just to be looking at. I'm sorry. When I get my drugs, I make sure it will be used.
If you was getting drugs, hypothetically speaking, I'm here one.
But basically,
I'm glad I don't mess with the hard stuff.
Yeah, and then basically he went off and said he admitted he slept with this man, and that he was guilty about it, that he had sex one time with a dude in college, and then he went and confessed it to his wife. So all of a sudden, he's like Donnie McClurkin. If you pray the way the gay hard enough, that shit'll go away. Which we all know, for those of us who suck dick and eat cooch for a living, since it's like one of my favorite hobbies. You can't pray none of that shit away. Because the only time I'm on my knees is when something's in my mouth.
Okay. Not too much, but...
Exactly. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to suck on the dick he was sucking on, because if you could pray away the gay, sign my ass up. Well, no, actually don't sign my ass up, because that shit is too good to be trying to give up.
Anyway, you just can't pray away gay. I mean, you are what you are. It is what it is. It's not a choice.
And that's what
it is. You can't do is abstain. That's the only thing he's doing. His wife ain't getting no more action. It's a wrap. He's just abstaining if he doesn't have a piece of ass on the side. And believe me, it's a man. It is what it is.
Yeah, and he was basically saying, he was also saying on the Oprah, he was basically saying on the Oprah show as well that he's gotten into tweeting and Facebook because he wants his wife, because of course he cheated. I don't know. In my opinion, it's like, if you're going to get with a man or a woman, cheating is cheating. I don't know why people put it on different plateaus and in different situations, because it's someone of an opposite sex or the same sex. Cheating is cheating regardless of who it is. But
dishonesty is dishonesty.
Exactly. Eating or sucking really don't matter.
Exactly.
Really don't matter.
Yeah, but what kind of irritated me about the whole thing was how he was saying, like, he got into tweeting and Facebook because his wife, he needs to have her keep track of where he is. So it's like he has to tweet his whereabouts so that way she'll know. And I'm sitting there like, if you love this man and if you have to tweet your every damn move to your wife so she can keep track of you, making sure you're not going to slip up and have sex with another man, because as I'm saying before, you cannot pray away any gayness or whatever, no matter how hard you try. That shit's bullshit. But it's like, why do you have to resort to that so your wife can trust you? The trust is not coming back. Once you cheat, it's hard for people to regain that trust, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So they should just go about their separate. It just seems like he's doing the typical thing where it's religion coming into equation over sex and sexual orientation, where it's like, because in the Roman times, pretty much they had bathhouses for women only, and they had bathhouses for men, and it was sort of like having sex with a man when you're an adult, and you had sex with like 6-year-olds and stuff in the Roman times. It was a rite of passage as far as like when it came to sex and that sort of thing. And so it wasn't a big deal when men had sex with each other. But now it's so like when Christianity reared its ugly head, which I told y'all, when Christianity didn't start coming around, they basically took pieces from things that came 1,000 years ago, like different religions or religious beliefs from 1,000 years ago with Horus and Egyptian type of stuff. In my opinion, it just feels like it's just ridiculous that the fact that obviously it doesn't work. Like you're in a situation where you're cheating and you'll tweet your whereabouts. So what do you think about that? Like, do you think like shouldn't they just like go their separate way?
I feel like infidelity is infidelity, and once the trust is gone, just like you said, it's hard to get back. And if you gotta have somebody monitoring their whereabouts, like shoot, you're the stalker now. It's supposed to be the wife, but now you become the stalker, and you're like shoot, now you're nervous and paranoid all the time, and he's watching his back and deleting numbers and all of this. Please, that's alright. That's like a full-time job. Nobody wants more work.
I think that's the dumbest shit I ever heard talk about Twitter. Like, what the fuck? You could put anything in a damn tweet. That don't necessarily mean that you're doing that or that where you at or whatever the case may be. I mean, how the fuck does she know for certain that he's not putting up BS and that he out sucking dick? She don't know that. He put up anything on damn Twitter. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wouldn't know.
I do Twitter, so I do Twitter, exactly. I mean, you could tweet some more shit.
Pretty much could.
You really could.
I'm so behind the times. I'm on America Online.
I mean, exactly.
Yeah, but that is true because I'm like, and then anything. He could really, and if she asked like his assistants or whatever, I mean, he could lie.
Exactly.
I mean, the same thing like with John Edwards, where he was gonna pay that dude to lie and say he was the father of that woman's baby when we all knew John Edwards. First of all, she shot that baby out her twat. It was a reincarnation of John Edwards. So it's like you can't hold up a lie for long. So it's like you could easily pay your assistants to like lie for you. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
so,
you could easily fake tweet and put Twitter bullshit up.
Exactly. So my thing is like, a man's going to do what a man's going to do. Not saying it's an excuse, but you know what? It's in our nature to have to fuck everything with a pulse. It's just.
But I don't think every man is like that, so we're going to get a shout out for some of the good men who got some self-control, and every man, me and my brother had a conversation earlier about that. We don't think every man has just got to be after every piece, regardless of how it looked like.
Well, I speak for myself.
Exactly. Whether you gay or straight, there's some good gay men, there's some good straight men. I just want to put that out.
That's true. I agree with that.
Shoot, but it's something. Shoot, but believe me, the scheming tramps out here. And at the end of the day, there's only so much a man's gonna turn it down before they take it. They're gonna check it. If the cooch is in their face constantly being thrown, and the wife's not playing her position, just like that dumb bitch Angelina Jolie and over Jennifer Aniston situation. Jennifer Aniston just let Jolie come in and basically snatch her man up. I would have been all over that.
Well, I don't think that has. I think it's like how you get him is how you keep him. I'm like, you know what? My thing is like when it's time for you to when relationship runs its course, I think people need to part ways. It's sort of like even in relationships, it's like when you're ready to go, and in that situation, it's like move on. Do yourselves a favor. Don't stay together because of the kids or because of this, because of that, because it's not going to work. You're going to drive each other crazy. You're going to want to stab each other up. It's just sort of like when a relationship is done, it's just like, you know what? I had a good run. We need to part our separate ways. Kumbaya, assalamu alaikum, whatever, all that other shit that goes with it. But it's like, just move on. Let's just go our separate ways and be done with it. It's like, don't just stay together for, I think a lot of people in relationships, they stay together for the wrong reasons. And it's like, even with cheating, my thing is this. If you're honest with that person from the beginning, then I think the relationships works best that way instead of feeling like you need to go and cheat outside the relationship. Just keep a straight face and be honest and that sort of thing. But right now we're gonna go take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this relationship thing, Jay Leno, and a couple of other topics. So don't go anywhere.
Better not.